you on a high out and you don't got Joe Burrow's jersey on, you don't got Jamar Chase jersey on, if you don't got Myles Garrett jersey on, you better have Shedeur Sanders jersey on, because I got one. When he make the team, I'm going to get the whole studio Shedeur Sanders jersey. And he's starting week 1. Yeah.
Shady McCoy, the one and only. Hey, talk to me, big dog. Shedeur Sanders, starting week 1. That's the conversation that people are starting to have. Yeah. But Shedeur, even hearing him, he's like, look, I'm just trying to make the most of my opportunity when the reps arise. Shady, would it be a bad thing, actually, if Shedeur Sanders were to somehow find a way to start week 1?
Wait, hold up. Would it be a bad thing for Shedeur Sanders to start week 1?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Do we compete in the NFL?
We do.
When's it ever been cool to not want to start?
That's not what I asked you.
Man,
listen, he want to start.
Listen, yeah.
That's not what I asked.
Everybody should want to start. That's why we play the game.
But is it a bad thing?
Man, listen, I'll say it like this respectfully.
They respect
I want this brother to start. If you ask him, do you want to start? He's going to say, yes, I want to start. It'd be a great thing for him. You know, either Andy Reid has the rule of he likes his rookies to watch a year or two to learn. Okay, cool. Who am I learning from? Learning from Kenny Pickett? He's kind of young like I am. He had a lot of struggles. He's kind of getting there. I'm going to learn from Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco taught me something last year, that football in the NFL has an age limit. And he's too old to be playing, unless you kind of good, which he's not. Right? Last year with the Colts, that was terrible. Was it not?
That was not good.
Not good. Okay. So I can't learn from that. But what I can learn from is going out there getting live bullets, going out there facing a real elite pass rush, going out there and seeing if his man is his own. That's how you can learn. It's Shedeur Sanders, man. I think the way he talks, you can tell he comes from a place of, I've been here before. It's called adversity. Yeah, I went to Jackson State. Nobody knew much of Jackson State. I'm going to change that thing around. Cool, I'm going to go to Colorado. Yeah, it's tough there. Nobody talks about Colorado. I know they won one game before we got there, but when I left, they had talked about team. So he's been there. That's why I said I don't care about the reps. Eventually, they're going to see because people know. And I was a rookie before. I remember when I got to the league, you know, they had Brian Westbrook as a starter, who was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the backup wasn't me. The backup was Lorenzo Booker. He was like a great player, Florida State. Yeah. And I look at the coach like, come on, man. You disrespecting me. Yeah. You got him in front of me? Because he been here before. Okay, cool. You know, I ain't worried about the reps, because once I start practicing and playing on the third team, on the second team, y'all gonna see how good I am.
Go to work.
And guess what, James Jones?
Yeah.
After that second preseason game, he was getting me water.
Hello.
Yeah, let me get that water, dog. Yeah, I know you've been here for a couple years. Give me that water, though, homie. Yeah.
All decade.
You see what I'm saying? And then everything changed. So this is a good thing for Shedeur. I think he should be a starter. All the reports I got back in Cleveland from coaches, from players, from elite players, is that Shedeur is the most talented quarterback out there. Now, he has to learn the playbook a little bit better. That's what rookies all have to go through. But once you get there, man, and you are the best player, and they give you that starting role, the coach will do a great job of simplifying the offense for you so you get it at a fast pace. I tell you what, y'all better get these number 12 jerseys right now.
Get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot. They will not be available this season. I'm telling you that right now.
Shady said a lot of good things right there. He said a lot of good things. Should Shedeur want to start week 1? Obviously, 1,000%. Anybody should want to start week 1. But would starting week 1 for Shedeur actually be a bad thing? 1,000%. Shady knows Andy Reid personally. Chase knows Andy Reid personally. I know Andy Reid loosely. They recruited me coming out of college. They were going to draft me potentially. Andy Reid came on a show previously that we were a part of, me, Shady, James Jones, and Andy Reid said, I never want my rookie quarterbacks to start right away. I never do. Because he wants that incubation period for them to develop to actually last longer. He's like, I don't want my rookie quarterbacks to start right away. There's a reason the last 8 MVP awards have gone to quarterbacks that didn't start week 1. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. There's a reason the last 8 MVP awards went to quarterbacks who did not start week 1. You got to go back to 2016 Matt Ryan to find an MVP that started week 1, in large part because when you start as a rookie and when you start week 1, you're not ready mentally, you're probably not ready physically, and you're definitely not ready emotionally. But you do not get to return all of the damage that you incur by playing week 1. You don't get to return it. All them picks you throw, you don't get to just forget about them. All them bad sacks you take, you don't just forget to erase them. All of the damage that you incur by starting week 1, you don't get to just get rid of it because it happened to you, the actual player. So rookie quarterbacks who have to start right away, oftentimes so much stuff happens to them that they don't just get to forget about. Ask Caleb Williams. Should Shedeur want to start week 1? Beyond the shadow of a doubt. We all did sitting up here at this desk. Same thing with as a true freshman in college. You want to start. But anybody that had to actually start as a true freshman in college, you understand, oh, snap, I probably should have chilled for a little bit. This is bigger than me. And what I love about what Shedeur said in his interviews yesterday is he kind of realized that. He's like, hey, when my number's called, I'm going to be ready. In the interim, I'm going to learn. And the other thing that what we've heard from Shady, what we've heard from Shady sources, what we've heard out of Cleveland, he has the most talent. It's a matter of picking up the playbook. That takes time. His talent, that's never been the issue. That's not going to be the issue. But starting week one means you better know the playbook week one. And the only thing right now where Shedeur is still working on getting better is his grasping of the playbook, which is going to take more time. I don't think starting week one for him would actually be a good thing, though he should want to.
I just want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Left side of that. So, whatever happens to like if the best player should play, the best player should start. If he shows that he's the best player, right? Why shouldn't he start? Because he's a rookie. Because Kenny Pickett is with a new offense, right? It's a new offense for him. Gabriel, it's a new offense for him too. And if Joe Flacco, I don't think he makes the team. I've seen enough of him to know that he's a little older. But I'm saying, like, so if he's the best player and we all got to learn the offense, why can't I start?
Really good question. My thought
because Andy Reid, that's different. That's different, right?
My thought process would be thinking long term, right? Not necessarily like even if he starts right now, I don't think they're going to win a lot of games. But
even if the other dudes start, they're not going to win a lot of games.
1,000% correct. But what I don't want to do is ruin Shedeur Sanders by starting him too soon, having him struggle too soon, and now Shedeur thinks he's bad. Because at the end of the day, regardless of how good Shedeur is, and I do think he's good, he's human. So what I wouldn't want is Shedeur to start right away, to have 4 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and they start 1-5, and now all of a sudden Shedeur's like, dang, am I really like that? As opposed to
Shedeur Sanders going to think that?
I just think he's human. I just think you're one of the most confident people in the world. But I remember you told me there was a period in time where Deuce had to tell you, Shady, you Shady McCoy. And you might be the most confident person I've ever met. And even you, Shady McCoy, told me that Deuce had to say, hey, remember who you are, big dog. Like, remember, you one of them ones. Remember that story you told me back in the Gap? And you're definitely more confident than me. Yeah. And now, you might not be as confident as Shedeur, but I do know some confident brothers that y'all are still human. You're still human, still walking in this flesh.
I'll let you go. I just think that the way that Deion's raised him and how his confidence is, right, that was one of his downfalls. He was too confident, people say, right? I don't see him having them type of moments.
That's fair.
When you like that and you know you good, no matter how you may play.
Yeah, I get what both of you guys are saying. Acho, you're up here talking about MVPs. We're talking about a 4th on the depth chart quarterback right now. Let's cool the brakes on that. But if you're Shedeur, okay, it is not a bad thing, in my opinion. Because if you're Shedeur, you are confident, you are trying to prove the world wrong. You've been knocked down from what you said, what people said, hey, you were a top 1 or 2 quarterback, right? As a competitor, I get it, man. You want to go out there and play. You have a job. You want to prove everyone wrong. You want to do this and that. Tell me the last good quarterback to come out of Cleveland in a long, long time. And I don't want to say it's where quarterbacks go to die because Baker was able to resurrect his career, but you are dealing with an uphill battle, especially as a rookie. So from Shedeur's standpoint, no. From a franchise standpoint, if I'm running the franchise and I'm trying to determine if he's the long-term answer at the most important position in all of sports, then, yeah, it is a bad thing. It is a bad thing, absolutely. From a franchise standpoint, you know you're not going to win. I mean, I say that. Every franchise thinks they're going to win the Super Bowl at this point in the day, right? But realistically speaking, I don't know if you are going to win 5 to 7 games, regardless of who's the quarterback. If you're Shedeur, you don't know what you don't know, meaning it is very, very difficult to play quarterback in the NFL. And there can be, and I've been teammates with some guys who have had scars from playing too early. And whether it's confidence issue, whether it's a coaching issue, whether it's this, that, or another, I don't know if this is the best place early in his career to be successful as a quarterback. Not to say that in a couple years or now he can't be a franchise quarterback. I prefer that he waits 5-6 weeks and he's not the guy that starts. Because if he starts and you don't play well enough and you're trying to say keep your job, if you're Stefanski or whatever, there's 3 other guys that they can put in above you. But if you're a guy who's coming in bye week, say week 10, that means they probably played 1 or 2 other guys, and you can give the city and the franchise maybe a little bit of hope. Like, oh, man, like, stands, they're full, man. Shedeur's starting. Like, I know we're not in the playoffs, but, man, we got a chance to see Shedeur for 6 games to see if he can prove to the franchise he is the franchise guy. So it's an issue. As a competitor, I'm with Shady 100%. With you, I'm with it 100%. If you're the franchise, though, you got to really think, like, hold on. Like, if it's close, you don't start Shedeur. If it's overwhelming, then we have a conversation.
Hey, Chase, you think they're going to lose this year, right? No matter who the quarterback is. Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, okay, we're going to lose anyway. But if you talk about hope. If we see our quarterback that's young or rookie, that we all think is really, really good, despite where he got drafted at, if he's balling and we losing, that's a good thing for the franchise and the.
If he starts, this is my thing. If he starts and he doesn't play well enough, which is going to be hard to do because we saw Caleb Williams, we say this generational talent. He struggled the entire season. Then they can bench him, and as a fifth-round pick, regardless of who it is, you're benched. You don't have 3 chances like you did a first-round pick. Whereas if you don't and you start them later on in the year and you've already exhausted your other options, you're not getting benched.
That's fair.
Once he gets benched, if he starts, you can't go back to him.
That's fair.
Is it a bad thing? No, it is not a bad thing. I think one of the young boys should go out there, but we're talking Shedeur, so I think Shedeur should go out there. Whichever one of these young players play the best in preseason should go out there. And to be honest with you, they should go out there and they should have the ability to make all the mistakes, and they should have the ability to go through their ups and downs. And when you do make this decision, you are saying as a franchise, we want to see what this young boy can do for the whole year. We want to see. Right now, if we said Joe Flacco's a starter, he go out the whole year, we think they're going to win 3 to 5 games. If we say we ride with Kenny Pickett and you're the starter, we think they're going to win 3 to 5 games. If you ride him with Shedeur, let him go out there, let him go through his ups and downs and have a chance to show you what he can do for a full year. We do not think this team is going far anyway. See if you got lucky, because the Browns ain't been lucky at quarterback, drafted in the first round, second round, third round. It might be lucky in the 5th round, and this kid can be special for your franchise, and you have him under contract, and you know you got your quarterback under the future for the next 3 to 4 years, and you do not have to pay him. That could change around your organization. I would put him out there immediately. If he showed me one throw in preseason, you start him. He will go out there immediately. I got a question for you guys. Oh. Because you two sit up here and you say, man, it wouldn't be good for him and all that type of stuff.
No, it'd be good for him.
It wouldn't be good for the franchise. That basically means it wouldn't be good for him, because if he play bad, you want to bench him and all that type of stuff. So we say the best players play, right?
Yep.
Typically,
right?
I would Chip Kelly, but most teams.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's why I said
You said
that's why I said
we say the best players play. So I understand what y'all saying when you say, hey, quarterback should sit, right? Andy Reid always had a plan. Right. I'm gonna draft Patty Mahomes. I got Alex Smith. When you look in this quarterback room, it ain't no plan. So all of them is the same. But my question to you is, because both of you guys said it would be a bad thing. What if he had first round attached to his name? It wouldn't be bad just because where he went?
I always believe what Andy Reid believes, which is I don't want my first round. I don't want my rookie quarterbacks to play right away, period, regardless of where they're drafted.
But hold on. So you're in the Cleveland Brown organization right now, and this is your quarterback room, Acho. There ain't no Alex Smith in there, Acho. That's been to the playoffs and all that type of stuff. Ain't none of that.
That doesn't change my philosophy. Now, it might change the urgency of the situation, to Shady's point, to your point. My philosophy is, I just love Andy Reid's philosophy, even before Andy Reid said it, is always sit your rookie quarterbacks, in large part because of what I saw with Aaron Rodgers, what I saw with Jordan Love. I think if you sit as a rookie, it helps more. And y'all know me, I'm wildly obsessed with psychology. So just me personally, I don't like somebody having to go out there and struggle, and it might make them question their self-confidence.
So that's good. So you keep it the same way like blackjack. You hit 16.
That's just my philosophy.
So that's cool. You.
What was the question?
Would it change if he had first round attached to his name? Would your answer still be no? Organization not starting in week 1?
No, my answer would be absolutely yes.
Well, why would your answer change?
Why wouldn't it change? Because there's only one quarterback in NFL history drafted in the 5th round or later to start week 1 as a rookie. If you average out the week since 2020, and that's a lot of seasons, the average first-round quarterback starts in week 3. You're not benching for bad play a first-round quarterback. So I have a long, long season to play him and to see him. You're not benching a first-round quarterback. If he's your starter, you're rolling with him. Let's be just abundantly clear on what the Cleveland Browns did. They went out and they signed Joe Flacco because him and Kevin Stefanski gave him $4 million. It's not a lot of money. If you say he's gone, whatever.
Of course.
They traded, which some people view and organizations view trade trading guys just as important as draft picks. They traded for a quarterback, and then they drafted a quarterback 2 rounds ahead of Shedeur.
Gotcha.
So if he is the first-round pick, it trumps everything. It trumps everything because you have a longer runway. You have 3 years.
That's your biggest fear,
success.
Being benched.
No doubt.
Which is fair. To Chase's point, if you start week 1 and he struggles and he gets benched,
rolling with
But
him,
my
dog.
thing is see, and you know that's a good take, even though you was talking to me all tough. What I was trying to get at
I'm
is
passionate about it.
For Shedeur to go in there in the 5th round, which means he had to ball way harder than them dudes.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's so much of an uphill battle for him to even start week 1. Hold on.
Yeah.
To even start week 1. So if they come out of preseason and they say Shedeur is the starter, that means he has made this look ridiculous to even put him in front of them dudes to start week 1. I truly believe if the organization puts him out there week 1, he's going to have that first-round leash. Why would he be going out there? He's proven to all y'all I'm clearly better than all these 3 dudes. I'm a 5th rounder, and you thinking about starting me.
And that's the problem. The problem is, like, even him as a starter. So when you talk about Patrick Mahomes having Alex Smith to learn from and watch after and learn tape, like, Alex Smith was a good quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Even all these guys we keep talking about, but who in the room I'm learning from? Other than learning from Joe Flacco in the meeting room, am I going to learn from him on the field? Because we just all agreed that Joe Flacco's going to win 3 to 5 games. Kenny Pickett, maybe, I don't know, extra game. I don't know. It's like all the same. Yeah. I'm in a room full of guys that's just like me. The difference is where I got drafted at, all I'm saying is I want to take the better player. And then when we watch this, I think Shedeur is younger. There's so much more hope, I feel like, for starting Shedeur Sanders than the other quarterbacks.
No, that's
right. Even though you talk about Dylan Gabriel being drafted, nobody's worried about that because everybody knows what's really going on with that. And then Flacco, he's older. His days is numbered. We watched him last year. I can't forget how he looked last year. He thought it was a great idea to bench Anthony Richardson, and then Flacco got on there and then stunk up the whole joint. And then Kenny Pickett. He had a couple good games with the Eagles, but I can't overlook what he looked like the Steelers. And we on a new team. So, and I've never seen that situation where we say, yo, we're going to have a 5th rounder, a 3rd rounder, an old-ass quarterback, and we're going to have Kenny Pickett all compete for a job. That never happens.
Yeah.
Y'all better stop playing that boy number 12, man. Give him a shot.
Stop playing with 12. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.